Good morning, children. Thought for the day. The only limits you have are the limits you believe. It means once you have placed limits on your life, you have predetermined your destiny. You have to start thinking in limitless ways. You have to believe you are capable of doing more. With this, let us continue with our chapter Heat. Up till now, we have studied that heat is a form of energy flowing from one body of matter to another spontaneously due to their temperature difference. Heat always transfers from body of higher temperature to body of lower temperature, or heat flows spontaneously from a hotter body to a cooler body. In our daily life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Example, tea is hot and ice is cold. Some objects are hotter than the others and some are colder than the others. We often decide which object is hotter than the other by touching the objects. We cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide how hot or how cold an object is. The hotness of an object is measured by its temperature. When we add heat to body, motion of its particle increases. When we remove heat from a body, motion of its particle decreases. Temperature is a measure of the degree of hotness or coldness of an object. So the temperature of something tells us how hot or cold something is. When a body is heated, various types of physical and chemical changes takes place in it. Heat flows from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. This is called transfer of heat. Heat is transferred in three different ways. They are conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is the process by which heat is transferred in solids from the hotter end to the cold end. If you remember, we had taken up the example of iron, aluminium, and copper rod. Okay, so here heat is transferred in solids from hotter end to cooler end. So in conduction, transfer of heat takes place through direct contact. It occurs anytime objects at different temperatures are touching each other. As long as the objects are in contact, transfer of heat will continue until the temperature of the objects is the same. Example, if you leave a metal spoon in a pan of soup that you are heating on the stove, it may burn your fingers. The spoon is in direct contact with the hot soup and heat is transferred to the spoon. Conductors and insulators. Conductors are materials which allow the heat to pass through them easily. Example, iron, aluminium, copper, etc. And insulators are materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily. Example, wood, plastic, glass, rubber, air, water, etc. Next, we had studied convection. Convection is the process by which heat is transferred in liquids and gases from the hotter part to the colder part. We had done an activity also to understand this. So in convection, the transfer of energy is in a liquid or gas. When a part of a liquid or gas is heated, the particles in it is made up of move faster and spread out more. The moving particles, they bump into other particles, causing them to move faster and spread out more. And thus, heat is transferred in a method of convectional currents. The air near the heat source gets heated and it rises up. The air from the sides moves in to take its place. In this way, the air gets heated. If you keep one hand above a flame and one hand on the side of the flame, the hand at the top feels hot because the air above is heated by convection. The hand at the side does not feel as hot because there is no convection. The third mode of transfer of heat that we had studied is radiation. Radiation is the process by which heat is transferred from one place to another without the help of any medium. Example, the heat from the sun reaches the earth by radiation. When we sit near a fire, we feel warm due to the heat radiated by the body, that is the fire. So, all hot bodies radiate heat. Heat from the sun, you can feel the sun warm on your skin on a sunny day. This is because the energy causes the particles in your skin to move faster, and hence you can feel more heat energy. You must have also observed the kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. Okay, dark colored surfaces, they absorb more heat than light colored surfaces. So we wear dark colored clothes in winter because it absorbs more heat and keeps us warm. So up till now we have studied the three types of modes of transfer of heat: conduction, convection and radiation. Now let us move further. A wonder of science. Radiation of heat takes place from many objects in nature such as trees, mountains, stones and roads. A camera has been developed which uses these radiations to make our surroundings visible at night. It is called an infrared camera. Using this camera, it is possible to keep a watch on the movements of the enemy during the night. When the heat rays fall on an object, a part of the heat is absorbed by the object and a part of it is reflected. The ability of a substance to absorb heat radiation depends on its color and also its intrinsic properties. Use your brain power. Why do we use white clothes in summer? Just now we had seen why do we use dark clothes in winter. Now let us see why do we use white clothes in summer. So of course, if the dark clothes are absorbing more heat, we are using them in winter. So light clothes we will use in summer so that they will reflect more heat. So absorption and reflection of heat radiation depends upon the color of the object. White and light colors, they reflect most of the heat falling on them, and dark or black colors, they absorb most of the heat. Hence, to help in maintaining our normal body temperature, we use white clothes in summer and dark clothes in winter. Here we have an activity related with expansion and contraction of a solid substance due to heat. The apparatus uses a metal ring, metal ball, a burner. So you are supposed to take a metal ring and a metal ball of such size that the ball just passes through the ring. Heat the ball and check whether it passes through the ring. Now let the ball cool down and check whether it passes through the ring. So the above experiment tells us that metals expand on heating and contract on cooling. Solids expand due to heat and come back to original state if heat is removed. However, the extent to which different solids expand is different. Use your brain power. Why is there a gap at the joints of rails and of cement concrete bridges? Think about it. All solids, liquids, and gases, they expand on heating and contract on cooling. Now we have studied this. So, rails made from metals and bridges contain some metals which may expand during summer due to temperature rise. So, if there is no gap provided at the joints of these metals, the expansion may destroy the bridge or rail structure or may cause serious accidents. Hence, to provide room for expansion of solids, there is a gap at the joints of rails and cement concrete bridges.